Hello, fellow Clashers. It is Kairos time, and welcome to another episode. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be doing some gameplay or anything like that. I just wanted to show you guys what I consider to be, right now, the best tool to try and help you build a solid deck in any meta. And I'm dead serious. This is a fantastic website to use. You guys know I'm not a clickbait YouTuber. You know that. Otherwise, my subs would be way higher. But seriously, I believe that this is one of the best tool that you can use right now. This is deckshop.pro, and it's fantastic. Definitely check it out. There's a link in the description below, just in case I butchered that website, saying that the wrong way. Anyway, so when you first come to the website, there's some really cool stuff right here. You know, you can take a look right at the very beginning, best decks in the game right now. You can scroll down, look at different variations of different types of decks and things like that. But if you're looking for specific things, you can click on Show Me the Best Decks. You can take a look at the best decks that are being used in the top ladder right now, which is a great place to take a look at. You can also take a look at 12-win decks. These decks are going to help you get to the 12th round of those grand challenges and just take a deck, practice it, and if you've got the skill, I'm sure these are the decks that are going to help you consistently win in the challenges, which is really fantastic. You don't have to scour the internet and look for all of these different websites. It's all right here. You can take a look at this deck museum. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't remember what Jason's deck is exactly. If you don't know who Jason is, he won the very first Clash Royale tournament ever, or at least hosted by Clash Royale. Really fantastic. I don't remember what it is, but hey, here it is. Jason's deck. If I ever want to mess around with Jason's deck, it's right there. Payfecta with the log, the original Payfecta, old school trifecta, winners of the ESWC and Shanghai tournaments. I mean, these are the OP double Pekka double Prince deck that everybody was using, what, like a year ago? Almost. You can take a look at these here. Deck Museum is really fantastic. You can look at interesting non-meta decks. I mean, a Mortar Rocket without a defense? What? I tried it. It's a blast. Check it out. Now, another cool thing is on my streams, I'm always having people saying things like, oh, will you please help me make a deck that works in Arena 6? Hey, we'll take a look at this. You go to Arena 6, and you can take a look at a bunch of different decks that work in Arena 6. Don't have any legendaries? That's okay. Click on the No Legendary button, and it'll show you tons of solid decks that work out. It's really fantastic. Definitely take a look at this, guys. Now, this is not the looking at decks and things like that. That's not the only thing. You can also help me choose a deck. So let's say you are in Arena 8. You don't have any legendaries, so let's get rid of these guys. Except for the Inferno Dragon. You have the Inferno Dragon. And then select the card that you want to use. Let's say that for whatever reason, I have a really over-leveled Barbarians. You saw that, right? Click on Show Me the Decks. You click on Show Me the Decks, and here are some good decks that actually work out pretty well. Pretty solid decks. You can take a look at all decks from Arena 8. Anyways, you guys get the idea. Let's go back to this front page. You can also go to Deck Check. This is my favorite of all of the tools that are in here. I mean, this is my absolute favorite. This is where it's going to help you build a super solid deck. So I'm in Arena 10. I have all of the cards, and then let's go ahead and select a deck that I've already built. Let's say I want to start out with an all the barbarians you can have deck, right? I already pre-made this here, just had it selected, and let's click on check my deck. It pulls this up right here. Deck synergies warning. It does say take this all with a grain of salt. Even though it might rate something higher or lower, it might not be 100% correct, and that's totally fine. Problems for the deck and recommendations. No medium or high spell damage. It'd be very excellent for me to have some type of like fireball or something like that. I don't have a tank. There are no cards that can reset certain attackers and things like that. You could have trouble with the following cards, and yeah, I'm definitely going to have trouble with the Executioner with this type of a deck. I don't know why it says Inferno Dragon, but hey, these are a lot of different things. Now, they're all following their guidelines on how to improve the deck. It may work out just fine as it is, but you guys get the idea. Now, just to show you a little bit about how this works out, this is a deck that I have been trying to make work out in the ladder. Okay, I wanted to do it. I wanted to make a solid deck that had only commons with only one rare. And that one rare that I chose was the Hog Rider. I tried one rare with the Giant. I tried one rare with the Fireball, avoiding the Royal Giant. I didn't want to have the Royal Giant in there because I don't want people to hate me if using Royal Giant. That's okay, I love you. But there are people that don't. Anyways, and I was like, okay, first of all, problem. Yes, no way to deal with an opponent's pump. And it's so true. Every time I was facing against somebody with a pump, I was like, okay, I rushed the other lane. Rushing when people place down a pump doesn't always work out. They've got 4 elixir, and by the time you drop anything, they probably have 5 elixir. They can easily deal with almost any push, as long as they have a solid deck. And so that was a problem. You could have problems with these following cards. Yeah, 3 Musketeers, they beat me every time. The Electro Wizard, very difficult to pass an Electro Wizard when you have the Hog Rider and even Elite Barbarians as your win condition. So these were some problems. So I was like, okay, I've got to deal with this. And so using this deck, I clicked modify this deck and took a look at some different things. You can even problem, hey, let's click on this more. Here are a bunch of different ways to try and solve it. Let's fix it. So you click on let's fix it. And it highlights all the decks that you could use to put in there to try and fix it. So what do? Well, we select one of the cards right here. Let's say Elite Barbarians aren't filling it for me. So I take out the Elite Barbarians. Now, none of the commons are highlighted, but that's okay. The Rocket is a solid card to use, and the Rocket is pretty level independent. It's not going to do any major differences if your Rocket's a little bit lower level. So we recheck the deck. Things are pretty good, but we don't have enough threats in my deck. I mean, the Hog Rider, it's a threat, but sometimes you can just drop down a Mega Minion and you're always going to be able to deal with the Hog Rider, so it's not too super threatening. So we go ahead and right here we select let's fix it, and hey, let's go ahead and switch out. I've got a level 2 Graveyard. The level 2 Graveyard is also a deck or a card that is pretty good even if you have underleveled cards. And level 2 is pretty fine for my ladder, or for where I am at in the ladder. So now we click on recheck the deck. Very good. So we're taking a look. More than 3 spells? Really? Not enough threats. So you guys get the idea. You keep playing with different cards, and eventually I got to the point where this is the deck that I had. I got rid of the arrows, put in the miner there. Deck is in good shape. Once you see this, you know you're ready to go. Yeah, deck counter is mediocre. I could have some problems with these different cards, but my deck seems pretty overall balanced and has a good set of win conditions and things like that. Now this is another really cool thing. You scroll down right here, the expert area. If you want more in-depth information about your deck, this is the place. It gives you the shortest cycle in your deck. The second shortest cycle, you've got some good defensive units, lets you know what your offensive units are and your win conditions. Threats. Now these threats are dangerous cards that the enemy cannot leave without a response. Sometimes the miner you can, but usually you don't want to leave the miner every single time. We can take a look at our investments, which are cards that can be played in the back to try and invest elixir, force your opponent to make that first move and things like that. Very excellent. Punishments. These are cards that you can use immediately after your opponent has spent way too much elixir to try and put them into some difficult responses. We've got 3 responses to the pump. We've got a building. We've got spells. We've got anti-air cards. This is how you take a look to see that your deck is very balanced, and I love this. I love it so much. Here's some other cool stuff. Ladder related information. Weak when underleveled. Hey, minions. Well, my minions are level 12, so I don't have to really worry about that. They're one of my strongest common cards. But level independent cards, I've got all of these cards in my deck that don't really need to be level too high. It's okay if they're a little bit lower level than the rest of my cards, and that'll mean that I'm set. I can deal with this level 8 Rocket. I'm not going to spend a ton of time trying to get it to level 9 until I need to. And so this, to me, seems like a pretty solid ladder deck to be using. I've tested it in the ladder. It works really fantastic, guys. I love it. And it's unique. It's fun. I can rip through Royal Giant decks. Synergies. How many times have I mentioned Royal Giant in this deck or this video? Synergies between cards. It shows you all the synergies that you can use. Cards that work really well. Now, in a lot of these, you'll show that some of them have full color and some of them are faded out. The full color ones are cards that work really well to synergize, and then the ones that are colored or are faded out are ones that work well, but they could do a little bit better. You guys get the idea. Now, this section is really detailed. The first section I take a look at is counters to threats, okay? I've got 3 faded out ones that are okay at taking care of the Royal Giant. Because I've got 3 of them, he's not that big of a concern. I've also got faded out tons of them to help out with the Musketeer and Dark Goblin and things like that. I've got an immediate reaction to the Hog Rider if I need to. The Tesla works out. Now, and if we scroll down here, all of these threats, I have at least 2 faded out ones, or at least 1 solid one, which is, I feel like that's pretty good. That means to me, I'm going to be able to deal with any threat in the game. Check your deck. Put it in here. See if you have a way to deal with that. And then it's counters to the rest of the cards in the game over here on the right side of things. Now, I wanted to put this to the test. I wanted to see if I could use this to try and make a deck that worked out well without well, really kind of off meta. And so, what do I do when I want to make an off meta deck that works out really well? Giant Skeleton, baby. That's where it's at. So, I put in a Giant Skeleton deck, and let me show you what I've got here. Do I not have it pulled up here? Nope, I do not. 1 second, guys. Pause. Okay, I'm back. So this is the deck that I made here. And similar to how I showed you just before, you can move around decks or cards and things like that to try and come up with the best deck. And this is what it'll do. Now, it does say deck rating with a grain of salt, you know, but good, great. That to me, I'm all in the green, we're good, but really the key thing here is your deck is in good shape. I love seeing this. I could have trouble with these 2 cards, but honestly putting a Giant Skeleton in front of either of them is going to stop that. So I'm not too concerned about that. Now, so of course I made this deck, and normally when I'm trying to make a deck that's pretty off meta, it's like I make a deck, I play a couple of matches until it feels okay, or until I feel like I need to improve something, then I go back and, you know, mess around with some things, go back into the challenges and test some more, go back and forth until I've spent probably 2 hours trying to make a solid deck. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's longer, it just kind of depends. This deck, with the help of this website, I spent 10 minutes to make this deck, and then I jumped in to try it out. Win after win after win after win in a classic challenge until I got 11 wins. Okay, so I didn't get to 12 wins, but for the first try, I think that is pretty fantastic, and it's with a Giant Skeleton Tornado deck with the Executioner. I mean, that's weird enough as it is. So I think that's pretty excellent, and if I continue to mess around with it, I'm sure I could get that 12th win in there, because a lot of the mistakes that I made, small mistakes, cost me the game, and you guys know how that goes. So this works out really well. I love this deck check. We already took a look at these best cards. Now what you can actually do is take a look at the cards themselves. You go right here, it's organized by different arenas and things like that. Let's say you get into Arena 6 and you're about to get into Arena 7 and you see the Royal Giant for the first time. Click on the Royal Giant, find out all of the counters to it. It's going to explain some properties of the Royal Giant, and I talked to the developer. Right now, you can't select, you know, punishment for spending elixir or anything like that, but the developer is going to make it so you can take a look at all of the cards that are punishers for spending elixir, so you can make sure you have those in there. But you can take a look at these. You can look at counters to the Royal Giant. If you're having a difficult time facing him, check this out. You've got these full color ones right here are solid counters to the Royal Giant, and you've got all these little ones that are a little faded out that do a pretty good job but aren't absolutely the best. And the Royal Giant counters all of these cards. It synergizes well with these cards and things like that, so that's an excellent thing to do. One thing that I'm really excited about is being able to take a look at the Knight. For example, you take a look at the Knight, and it's going to show you level independent. That means that it doesn't really matter how strong it is or how high leveled it is. It's going to be a pretty solid card regardless. The developer's going to make it so you can look at a list of all of the level independent cards, all of the cards that are super strong when they're over leveled, and all of the cards that are weak when they're under leveled. That's going to help a ton when you're in the ladder and trying to decide what cards you're going to invest your well-earned gold on. Guys, this deck or this website was not easy to make. It took a lot of time on the side of Pavelfi from Orange Juice right there. Took a ton of time, and he put a lot of effort into it, and it's really fantastic. He's going to continue to try and update it and make sure that it's working out, but all of this website is made in his free time. So if you like it, please go and support him for further development. You can donate right here. All donations go to Clash Royale related expenses, the domain, the hosting, gems, diamonds. You guys get the idea. Also, join his Discord server, so if you have any questions or feedback to him, you just click connect right there and make sure you do that. But it's really fantastic. The website is a ton of fun, so please go and support him. If you guys like this video, please let me know. If you want more tips or tools that you can use to try and improve your Clash Royale experience, please let me know. I'm always looking for ways that I can improve. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment, a subscribe, and for now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you guys in the arena.